Hello once again YouTube, it is me Born here from Retro Weirdness, and today we are going to be reviewing the Sega Megadrive, also known as Sega Genesis. This was a 16-bit system, as it says on the system, in competition with the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, which was also a 16-bit system, but it started its lifespan before the Super Nintendo while the NES was still around. It was released in Japan in 1988, in North America in 1989, and in all PAL regions in 1990. Over 30 million units were sold during its lifespan. And as you can see here, it is a lot sleeker than the North American design of the Super Nintendo, and as a fact, it looked sleeker, and it used the blast processing to really sell its audience to the North American market. So it was basically 50-50 over there. In England, however, where I am, it was a little bit different because the consoles in this country were less bought, and it was more the old computers like the ZX Spectrum and the Commodore 64 that were used around here. But consoles were used, and it was mainly the Sega Master System and the Sega Megadrive which were successful over here. So I'm now going to show you the unit itself and how it looks like, and the other hardware for the system that was around. So on the front of the unit is two controller ports, which is also compatible with the Atari 2600 and vice versa. We have a headphone jack, 'cause yes, you could actually put headphones in to listen to it. On the top of the unit we have the volume port if you have headphones in, power on and off, and a nice little reset button. We also have our cartridge flap and a power on LED. On the back is a extension port for the Sega 32X. We have the RF cable and the S-video, as well as the AV cable. On the back of the unit is, on the other side, we have a extension slot for the Sega CD, as well as some vents. There are the vents. And there's the back of it. It just tells you product information and that it was bought for $9.99 from somewhere. So let's now have a look at the cartridges that were released for the systems and the comparison to other systems released at the same time. Here on the left here you can see the Sega Megadrive cartridge here, and then the Sega Genesis one, we have Sonic the Hedgehog and Budokan. Both very nice games. I quite like Budokan especially. Unfortunately, the thing that I have to play it has fried because I put the wrong AC adapter in it, because I was a bit stupid. Then comparing that to the NES, the Mega Drive one is half the size. Then even compared to the Super Nintendo, it's still a fair amount smaller. Let's just show you up there. And the North American one, as you can see, the ports are ever so slightly different, so you cannot have cross-compatible games unless you modify your Mega Drive, which I really don't want to do. But that's a comparison of the cartridges for the system. And now I'll have a quick look at the controllers that were released in the system. Okay, so this is one of the controllers that was released in the system. This is a 6-button controller which worked with games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. But they all have a very similar principle, minus a X, Y and Z button. All of them would have an A, B, C button and a start button, as well as a quite nice D-pad. Also, as you can see here, this is the bottom of the connectors, which is exactly the same as the leads for the Atari 2600 and Atari 7800. So it's very feasible that you can hook one of them, this controller, up to either a 7800 or a 2600, and you can work quite nicely, although only the A button will work. Now let's have a look at two games for the system. We'll be looking at Sonic the Hedgehog, as well as Streets of Rage on the Mega Game 6. Streets of Rage, if you didn't know, it is now a legal obligation to play it if you ever see it. Otherwise, you will be terminated. Anyway, let's get into playing Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, so TV is all set up. Yes, it is a modern TV. I have upgraded since my last channel. But the game's all plugged in. All we need to do is flick the on switch and Sega. So we're just going to play Green Hill Zone Act 1 to show you the music and graphics of the game system. I won't speak too much, just so you can listen to the music. Oh, go on, let's play Act 2. Might as well. As you can say, this bonus stage is relatively glitched. And there's no way I can end it, so I'll give it 10 more seconds unless I can get out of the hole. Off. Okay, so let's just go in and play Streets of Rage. We're hoping we don't have to blow in the cartridge. We're gonna have to... No, we don't have to blow in the cartridge. You spoke too soon. Revenge of the Shinobi is quite a good game as well. Golden Axe is a bit repetitive though, so Streets of Rage it is. It has such a beautiful soundtrack, completely unlike anything else on the system. Not sure why I did that. Anyway, we shall start. I am alone. I will play one player. I am sad. I shall play as Mr. Axel, because I like his flying kick. Again, I'll just play the first stage because I can't bother to do much more than that. Ooh, I have a bottle. Anyway, I will now end this review. Next time you should see the Super Nintendo being reviewed, because it's a quite nice little console, although Sega is my daddy. Anyway, that ends off this review of the Sega Megadrive or the Sega Genesis, if you're a bit OCD, and I will see you next time.